Black Belt magazine this month. Got an article in there with a couple of Hall of Famers where it talks about don't do that. And one of the things I talked about and what you don't want to do on the street, and I know from experience, is not be with the rhythm and the flow of the environment. We call it getting caught slipping. Almost got caught slipping. Remember one day just telling a guy, look, bruh, I think this guy, who was a friend of ours, was trying to do something to rob us. But the guy ain't want to listen to me because I guess he didn't realize that I knew what I was talking about. This connection to my chi. And whenever it felt uncomfortable, I always stepped back for a moment to check things out. And most of the time, it always turned out I was right. You know, if I was going to be successful, I felt it here. If I was going to be, you know, negative or something was going to go wrong, I felt it there. In this particular time, I felt like something wrong was about ready to happen. And I told the guy, but he ain't listened. Then a couple of minutes or so, we looked around and he had two guys coming up the steps with a hood and a gun. Within a couple of seconds, yeah, I ran, because once again, the first line of defense was gone. Because I gave the guys warning and I told them what to do to prevent situations from happening, but you ignored it because you was doing other things. You was too caught up in the, you know, being fly and thinking you was there. Nobody was by, you know, the role of trying to act like you made it. You know, everybody get, you know, chest come out when they get successful. You know, be balanced. Because I don't want to get hyped. I don't want to get too low. I want to be like just focused. Focus in and not getting overwhelmed by the success or by the defeats or by the letdowns. I just want to be able to maintain calmness that you learn how to be able to get beyond and push beyond. And when that happened, I broke off, I ran, and, you know, and I got away. On my way running out the high-rise buildings, I heard boom, 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 things going off. But I tried to prepare the guy. I tried to let him know that it was so important to be in tune with what was going on. You know, when you so into the rhythm, you can feel the broken rhythm. It ain't about dancing, it's about your heart, your spirit, your soul, your conversation. You know, come on, even when you thinking, it's about going with the rhythm of your thoughts. When you talking, it's about the rhythm of the communication. When you moving, it's about the rhythm of the movement. In the streets, attack are going to try to attack you. In jail, somebody going to attack you when they feel like you bringing an unorthodox rhythm. That unorthodox rhythm brings about conflict, and when you got conflict, you got violence. Or you got people who feels as though their rhythm is above your, especially when your conflict looks out, it's totally unorthodox. You're struggling to try to figure it out yourself in your face, your eyes, or whatever it may be. The predator is going to crush you. You got to be rhythmatically in tune. It's like your first dance. Don't let nobody know that you ain't got it, because you can't teach rhythm. That's just something that happens. So you got to be in tune. You got to surrender. It goes back to that spiritual concept. Even when we don't know what we're doing, it happens. And that's the greatest emotional discovery in life, is to let it go. Let go, let flow, let God, let it do. It's easy to do when you're a kid. You know, as you get older, you stop doing it. When you get older, you have to do it because your limbs and your ability to be able to remember and all those things in conflict is not that important. You're trying to find harmony. And even in combat, you want harmony. Who wants to, you know, first of all, if you know, when you look at the state of the youth today, everybody want to hurt each other. Everybody want to do this to one another. Think about all the unnecessary attention you done drew to yourself if you was really trying to be a success at what you was doing in a negative sense. You done just messed the whole game up. And I'm not promoting that. You don't want conflict. You want peace. You want to be able to get through, get by, and do it in a loving and caring way and not create no enemies. Build relationships. Develop loyalty, express loyalty. That's what it's all about. In the Black Belt magazine, I talk about don't try to take your opponent to the ground in a street fight, because it's not about you against him, it's you against them. Now, I'm not putting down, I love MMA, I love all this stuff, but let's be real. When you came up in the hood, there was some good guys that could wrestle. I know some guys, they could wrestle so good, they would run your head into the wall. We would just sit back and watch these cats. I used to be bullied by one. You know, one day I learned how to stand up and represent and got my respect. He was my man today. That's how it goes. That's how it went back in the day. You know, and guys was boxing. Come on, there was always a boxing gym. One thing you didn't know how to do was box and wrestle. Even your parents showed you how to do that. Martial arts was the unorthodox thing, the kicking and the punching, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually, you know, when I was coming up and people was doing their little martial arts, whatever, in the street and doing whatever. The last thing you wanted to do was be rolling with a cat on the ground. I don't think I remember that many cats rolling on the ground. I done seen guys want one fight. You know, you done seen it several times. Just start with two people fighting, and the guy in the crowd gathers, and the guy fighting the guy rolling whatever, and out of nowhere somebody just come out of the crowd, bang, and hit him in the face, and break his concentration. Before you know it, all they do is hype up the rest of their friends, and they on you. And when you look at the craziness of the kids today, they don't fight in ones no more. Or it just goes crazy, man. You see stuff where, you know, two people start off fighting, and before you know it, somebody just comes from nowhere in the fight. And they just accidentally stumbling in what you're doing, and before you know it, they're a part of the fight. Man, you ain't got no time to be mounting and armbarring on no hood. You think about the poop, the rocks, the glass, all the craziness that's on the ground, and then the last thing you want to do, and that's the beauty of seeing what we see in mixed martial arts as it's evolving, is that it's about countering that stuff, man. That's what people was doing back in the day. The karate guy was countering the wrestling guy, and the wrestling guy was trying to take the karate guy down, and the boxer was trying to counter. Everybody was trying to counter what this guy's his strong point. That's like business, you know what I'm saying? The man at what he's good at, find what you good at, and come in, and through your own strength, you can either win or you can blend, but either way, you find a way to do you. So I'm not saying anything bad, but I know I ain't trying to roll on no ground. First of all, I ain't trying to get in no fight. I'm going to do everything it takes to avoid a confrontation. I don't care how crazy I might get in class, how much I talk about combat and all that crazy stuff. For real, for any guy that held a gun and was in a shootout, he did not want to shoot that gun. He did it because he didn't have the strength and the courage to say no or walk away. That's the true martial artist. The one who can walk away, the one who can switch. When a guy got a gun at you, you can reverse that whole role. And in regards to what the guy might say, but you can walk away and see another day. And no matter what, you don't know what you done did to that guy. The one thing that you do know, he didn't pull the trigger. I didn't have those experiences. By being on the other side, I realized by being on this side, it's about redirecting the conflict. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Just like you say, don't kick to the head. I'm going to keep kicking high, kicking low, kicking middle, kicking, twisting, doing whatever, because I don't know how my body going to end up. But I'm going to do whatever it takes, and if I fall down, I'm going to get right back up. And I'm going to grab something in the process of getting back up. So, don't try to take your opponent to the ground in a street fight, because it's not you against him, it's you against them.